Did you know that Case and Huff and Schlieder has been servicing customers in the tri-state area for nearly 100 years? As an independent insurance agency, they have the flexibility to find the right value for your business, farm, and personal insurance needs. Case and Huff and Schlieder is a locally owned agency. Their agents and support team are ready to help. Give them a call or find them on Facebook. Case and Huff and Schlieder, proud sponsor of the Muddy River News Business Spotlight. Welcome to the Muddy River News Business Spotlight. I'm Bob Goff, and this program is brought to you by Case and Huff and Schlieder Insurance. My guest today is Jeff Butler. He's the owner of Clean Restoration. It is a relatively new business here in Quincy, also serving other areas as well. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Not only Quincy, you're in other locations as well, correct?
Yep, the other side of the river, and then up into Keokuk and Macomb, basically 50, 60 mile.
So Clean Restoration, I assume your job is when there's somebody makes a mess or has a mess, you go clean up that mess.
Yeah, we're not someone that you want to call. But yeah, we take pride in the fact that we're a company that gets called, to come in at a bad time and hopefully make things better in short order.
There are many businesses such as yourself where it's like, I don't have to call them. But when you call them, it's good because you're there and you can take care of such things.
It's basically a first responder type of situation, not on the same level as, what everyone thinks of. But I mean, at the same time, it's an emergency in someone's mind when their house has either had a fire or water damage, and it's incredibly important.
And you guys just picked up the new location here in Quincy on North 12th, correct?
Yeah, it's been a great move for us, and it really could not have come at a better time, and it's a perfect building for what we're doing.
And, you received a firsthand look at how Quincy city government works, too.
That it did.
Running a small business these days is challenging. And all of these interviews we do on Business Spotlight, we talk to it. And, when being a part of a small business myself now, I empathize with you with the hoops you have to jump through and the things you have to get done. And especially in this day and age, when you decided to get into this business, what attracted you to that?
It was actually a client I had in another business, and everything seems to be relationship based, and a relationship and some other stuff that I was doing at the time led me to this industry. I have a little bit of a construction background, but it was just a great fit, and it just so happened that Quincy was definitely looking for another option. And,
when you trying to get your word out and trying to let people know that you're doing this, it's a good way to, like you said, it's about relationships. So when you come in and you want to do this, and you want to, how do you perform your outreach? I'm not just talking about advertising. I'm talking about the word of mouth and making the contacts. Who do you go to when you're trying to find customers for your new business?
The best move we ever made was our business development manager, Alan Stout. He's the face of the company in and amongst the community, marketing to insurance agents and working with local chamber of commerces and just spreading the word of who we are and what we do and how we do things a little bit differently. It's been a huge factor in our growth. And other than that, I mean, it's really just as simple as we care. We show up at your house or your business. We're into your personal belongings. It's something. We're there to help, and we're there to do it the right way, first and foremost.
Yeah, because, when you, like I said, you're going into somebody's home or business after some kind of disaster, and for the most part. What services do you provide? Do you provide services that aren't necessarily disaster-related?
Mold damage. We have done some general cleanups after some construction projects, but it's mainly water, fire, and mold. That's our specialty. We don't do, we're not drywallers, we're not painters, we're not, reconstruction guys, but we, at the same time, when we need to put things back together, we're great general contractors and we're able to manage the project as a whole. But with that said, we specialize in what we do, and that's water, fire, and mold.
It seems this year water was a big issue. Was that a big a big job for you guys?
Definitely. Most of what we do isn't really river related. 2009 was the exception, and hopefully it's a long time until we have to deal with that again.
Yes.
But sump pumps, supply line break failures, sewer backups are pretty common. So that's the norm.
Well, with all the rain we got this year, I think a lot of people found out just how sealed their basements were or were not.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of foundation issues. That's the worst part. When somebody has a foundation issue, we come in, it's a huge mess, and I know it's not going to be covered by their insurance. Because we do this every day. We know generally we can walk in and give you a pretty good idea what's going to be covered and what's not. And it's not a good situation.
Yeah, because I think especially if it's a tiling issue and you've got to take care of all that, insurance is probably not going to help you in that. That's just something wear and tear. And
if it's coming through the foundation or through a window, it's considered flood, and most people don't have flood damage insurance. And
so when you go in, then I guess it's somebody calls you and they say, "I've got 6 inches of water in my basement." What is your next move?
Get there and get as much water extracted as quickly as possible. Set some equipment to stabilize and get the environment better. Make the people feel more comfortable. If we need to personally get them out of the home and into a hotel situation, or just depending on the severity of the job, it kind of dictates exactly how far we need to go.
So ripping out the wet, soggy carpet, that's you, right?
Yep. Yeah, extract the carpet, extract the pad. It just depends. It could be sewage. There's days where our job is not fun.
And and fire damage, I mean, that's something where, there's always a point to where is it savable or can we rebuild? When you go in, do you help make that decision with a homeowner sometimes?
Absolutely. We work in conjunction with the homeowner, with their adjuster, to make the best decisions for them personally based upon, is it cleanable? Are you better off just taking, what they're going to allow for it and replace it? And you have two different sides to this equation in terms of the structure, and then you have the contents personal property side. So there's a lot of confusion sometimes on homeowners' parts when it comes to this, because they don't really know what to do or where to turn. And ultimately, we just try and be the place they go for their answers.
And with the whole gamut of what you do, the mold issue is something that it seems that let's face it, mold's always been around, but it seems like something that recently has gotten a lot more attention with the black mold and things like that. When you go in for that, it is. I've had people who've said, "Oh my God, my basement's so full of mold, we have to move, or we have to blow it, we have to do all this stuff." But there's a point where you can fix it, though, right? And you can make it livable again.
Absolutely. I mean, some people. That's the thing about mold. Some people are super susceptible to it, and some people it can be a terrible situation health-wise to live in, and it doesn't really ever bother them. So it's a real subjective, thing. So to do it the right way, regardless of a person's that's the word I'm looking for. Regardless of a person's
allergies or susceptibility, sure.
Always do the job the same way in terms of figuring out what the goal is. Do some testing and figure out exactly what the baseline needs to be, and then go in there and remediate it properly.
Because mold is not necessarily, a lot of times, it's not just a surface issue.
Absolutely,
correct?
Absolutely. Yep. And when you start getting into porous surfaces, it can be a challenge.
So that's when you talk about the general contractor, and you just got to cut it out and repair it and make it work.
Yep. Sometimes tearing it out and putting it back together is a whole lot more cost effective.
How many guys and gals do you have working for you total?
So we've grown a lot over the last 18 months, and we're up to six plus myself. So we're a crew of 7 total.
And you're the ones that take care of all the locations then?
Yep. And Clean Restoration is not a franchise. We're the only one. So it's a true independent, local small business.
Well, again, and that's we say it here a lot. Being a small business as well, we also try to talk to a lot of small business owners in this program, and Case Enough and Schleter Insurance, another small business that's our sponsor. Just try to get people out there and let them know what's going on, and because everybody, when you talk about business owners, there's some people who think, oh, you're rolling in money, but that's not necessarily the small business owner. That's the corporate guys. The small business owners out there working whenever the hours are needed. Whatever is needed to get the job done. And there's times where, you've got employees who are sick, and there's times where you have employees who are on vacation. And then you also, as an owner, you're trying to find a time, okay, I'm going to work you're going to work your 50 plus weeks a year. You've also got to try to find that time for yourself too, though.
Absolutely. There's never been a more challenging time to be a small business owner, since 2020. So, every day it's something different, and I look forward to those challenges.
When does the COVID situation something you have to be involved in any cleanup stuff on, or no?
It's not something we decided to dive into.
Okay.
It just wasn't a situation I felt like I needed to put my people that worked for us. And secondly, it wasn't our specialty. So I wasn't about to try and dive into something that we did not know the ins and out of, and I can't say that anybody else does for sure either, to be 100% certain.
Right.
It just didn't seem like the right fit, so we did not get into all those types of cleanings and all the stuff that goes along with that.
Well, again, getting more business is always great, but there's always got to come a point where you look at it and say, is it worth it? And obviously you made that decision for your employees, or you and your partners did, and that's commendable. And again, there's plenty of other work to do, right?
Yeah. There's plenty to go around, and focusing on what we do and what we know was most important at that time.
Jeff Butler with Clean Restoration. Again, we just wanted to have him in for a chat and talk a little bit about his business, as we tried to talk to many small business owners around our area about what their businesses entail and how they can maybe help you somewhere down the road. We'll have a link to their website that we will have with all their business information should you need to contact them along with this interview. Jeff, thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Once again, I want to thank Case & Huff and Schlueter Insurance for sponsoring Business Spotlight. I'm Bob Goff. Have a great day. Representing nearly 20 A-rated insurance providers, Case & Huff & Schlueter caters to most any type of insurance. Business, farm, home, auto, and health. For nearly 100 years, their team of experienced professionals is second to none in providing coverage for your insurance needs. Case & Huff & Schlueter will find the most cost-effective solution to your business challenges, and with their experienced agents, they know how to navigate the insurance markets. 100 years, an agency built on service, no matter what side of the river you call home. Give them a call today or find them on Facebook. Case & Huff & Schlueter, peace of mind since 1923.